So now we are looking the types of power, political power. So the ability to rule state, people, the capacity to administer the state, to control the state, that is called political power. In order to identify the nature of the political power, it is essential at the outset to distinguish between the formal and informal organs of the power. Types of power. Types of political power. Now, first in power there are political, economical and ideological. Then in political power there are again two types, formal and informal. Formal means legislature, executive and judiciary are the traditionally recognized organs of the power in the state. They represent the formal organs in short. Formal organs of political power play an effective role in given territory. Next is the informal political power. Informal organs of the political power are not only take the form of political parties in power, but also in the opposition. Parties also play the informal political power, but also a large number of pressure groups, public opinion, popular movements, party leaders, mass media, and electronic media. In political power, there are two types, formal and informal. Next is the in the powers concept, we are going to see the economic power. So, economic power is a power derived from the possession of the material things, especially the major means of production and distribution. It is a potent factor behind politics. For instance, the big landlords, industrial tycoons, and business magnates are able to influence the public decisions regarding the fixation of priorities in the public development in a liberal democracy. Means in India itself, the organized economic interest have been able to secure the priority for color TV for the urban rich over the drinking water for the rural poor. Next is the ideological power. So first we should know the ideology meaning. Ideology may be defined as a systematic set of arguments and beliefs used to justify an existing or a derived or a desired social order. An outstanding feature of political ideology is that it provides legitimacy to the ruling classes and helps them to maintain their strong hold on political power. When people are made to believe that a political system of a government when people are made to believe that a particular system of the government is the best system, they will not be inclined to challenge the authority of the ruling classes. When people have learned to respect their laws, the need of coercion to secure their obedience would be eliminated or at any rate minimized. Means here the political power involves not only a set of beliefs, it is always action oriented. It puts forward a cause for which the people are prepared not only to fight but to make the lot of sacrifices. Ideological power represents the manipulative power, means manipulative power is there present in the dominant classes which holds sway on thinking and emotions of the people. Ideology even creates an illusion of a consent. Under an ideological spell, people express their approval to the rule of a particular person and policies. They are led to believe that they are being governed with their own consent. Means people think that they are governed by their own consent. But what is the reality? While they actually continue to be governed according to the designs of the dominant classes. So here we have completed the types of power, political power, economical power and the ideological power. So rule of power in society, types of power, political, economical and ideological. In political, formal, informal, we have already seen this, that in formal, legislature, executive and judiciary. In informal, public opinion, pressure groups, political parties, mass media and mass movements. Next in economic, ownership of means of production, ownership of control of mass media, financing of elections. And ideological, in calculation of beliefs about the best system of government, legitimization of the ruling classes, control on people's choice of policies, and based on the values transmitted through civil society, family, school, church, and other primary groups. Next is the Marxism theory. So, Karl Marx is the leader and the well-wisher of the labor class. In modern capitalist society, the conditions of industrial production lead to the concentration of workers in a big cities with a strong communication between themselves. They become not only conscious of their strength but also of their common enemy, that means the capitalist class, which exploited them so intensely. Marx and Engels believed that the overthrow of the capitalist class was not only imminent but also inevitable. So in next lesson ideology, we are going to study this Marxian theory derived from the Karl Marx in detail. Next is the elite theory. This is the important concept. The term elite was derived from a French, where it meant to be something excellent. Accordingly, the elite theory tends to divide society into excellent and ordinary people who are placed in different positions. Means elite theory group division is done into two groups, dominant and dependent. Now, Wilfredo Pareto used the term elite to indicate a superior social group, that means a group of people who show highest ability in their field of activity, whatever its nature might be. It was a minority group which took all the major decisions in society. Means this elite group, which is in a minority, means it is a small in quantity, then also it took all the major decisions in society. And the other part of society which fell short of this level of ability was termed as mass of the people or masses. Masses are characterized by the lack of qualities of the leadership as well as the fear from responsibility. They feel that in public life it would be safe to follow the elite. So here is the Wilfredo's Pareto's model of circulation of elites. In society there are two groups, elites and masses. Then again in elites there are two types, governing elite and non-governing elite. Governing elite means who takes the control of the power is called governing elite, and non-governing means the opposition parties. This is called the circulation of elites. So here Pareto distinguished the elite between governing and non-governing elite. Governing is the one who wields the power for the time being, while the non-governing elite constantly endeavors to replace it by showing the greater ability and excellence. In short, behavior of the elite is characterized by the constant competition between governing and non-governing elite. This results in what is called the circulation of elites. In any case, masses have no chance of entering the ranks of elites. Pareto also recognizes courage and the cunning as the qualities of the elite. So this is about the elite and the Wilfredo Pareto's theory. Next is the Gaetano Mosca's theory. Gaetano Mosca